Hi, this is Dr. Amanda Kemp, and welcome to.
Get your chocolate on. I'm Makeda.
And this show is being brought to you today by Racial Justice from the Heart, my company. And Racial Justice from the Heart is having a 3-day training on stopping implicit racial bias. So we encourage you to check it out if you don't already have, if you haven't seen it yet. It's going to be next week. It's live, it's online, and it will be awesome for helping you to root out your implicit racial bias and have where you come from is what your values really are, not what you've been conditioned into.
And this woman, she specializes in results.
Aw, thank you. I feel like my results today is messy hair.
Well, that's how you know you were working hard.
Oh my
Clearly,
God.
I was lazy today.
Oh, okay, thanks. So, Makeda, what's our show about today?
Okay, I'm so excited because we talk about her all the time.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I think I said it right.
AOC. AOC, we love you.
We do. So, we watched a documentary. We also have talked about this before, actually, but the Bring Down the House, I think it's called, documentary, just follows a ton of political women on their campaigns.
Yes. I'm going to look up the exact name of that documentary, Makeda.
I think it is called
Bring Down the House. Okay, because we are
yeah,
so touched by it.
Oh, I'm going to pin it in here because I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Makeda is 100% right. Bring Down the House. It's a documentary about, I think it's 4 women who are running for office for the first time. And they, in 2016,
I think 17. I hope it wasn't 18. That sounds like too recent. Sorry, guys. I'm still
2016. Okay, because it was released. Oh, crap. Okay, anyway, you guys just look it up because it was amazing.
Okay,
and, it's about the 2018 midterm elections. That's what it is. And that's when AOC ran for the first time. And I just want to give a shout out for all the people, especially women running for office who don't have a background in politics, who come in to challenge incumbents, who want to bring forward value-centered politics, not, rooted in money and people buying their votes. I just want to say, so much respect for you because
seriously,
you're really going against the stream. The odds are long. So if your heart's not in it, you can't actually do it. But if your heart's in it, it means your heart could get broken.
Exactly. And that's where you have to be passionate enough to want to break that cycle that's there and to be the person that shakes it up a little bit. And for these particular women, to have them have a camera crew follow them around while they're doing it, it's like so much is on the line because you want to be a success story for those. And it's like, but I think it also really speaks when that doesn't happen. It speaks to the, the pressure of the system, sort of.
Oh, it speaks to the efficacy of the system in maintaining itself.
Efficacy. Oh my God.
I'm just telling you. Okay, I'm telling you. What can I say? But I'm serious. it just says the system rolls along, and to actually challenge it takes so much more energy than just to roll along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so much more, it takes so much less energy to go with the NRA, to take their money, to take their threats, and to do what they want you to do or what they don't want you to do, than it is to challenge them. Because then you've got to come up with all your own money to, fight your lawsuit when they sue you because you want to, have some common sense gun laws or whatever. So I just want to say out loud, we respect and we thank you, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, of course, who won, but also these women who didn't win, like Amy Vilela, Cori Bush, who's African-American from the area representing Ferguson, St. Louis, and then Paula Jean Swearingen, from West Virginia. All these women, they did big stuff. They really put it all out there. And in this film, 3 of the 4 of them lost. And I tell you, one of them, all of them cried, but one of them, they caught on camera, sobbing so hard.
We were all crying at home.
We were crying because, wow. I don't know. It's like you just got to pick yourself back up, but you can also catch your breath. just sometimes, once I was in a yoga class and the head of the whole yoga studio, I kept coming back up and coming back down, coming back. She said, "Stay down, Amanda." She literally said, "Stay down, Amanda." And I actually almost cried because it was like someone gave me permission to just rest. Stop fighting for a minute, girl. Just, take the L for the moment. Take the L, rest yourself up so that you can stand up and not fall right back down, which is what I was doing in my yoga class. I was just like, oh. It was just my will trying to make me get up.
Well, in AOC's case, she did not. She was the only one that made it through.
Yeah.
She was not taking an L in that particular time.
She didn't. No, she didn't. She took the V.
She took the victory, yeah.
It was so, like, when I saw that documentary, I realized the odds she was up against.
And, the things that they put her through because she was sort of, not independent runner, but just not really known very well. The other campaign, one thing we learned is that she had to get 10,000 signatures, I believe, to be considered for the ballot. And if any of those, they could fact check every single one of those people's information. If any wasn't valid, there were any mistakes, they had to toss a signature. So that's more like 15,000 signatures you gotta get.
Or 20,000. You gotta double it.
But again, like, she's fighting against these nitpicky people who don't always play fair, who have resources on their side. So I think it was so nice for all of us to see her win that. Yeah. And honestly, I think when she won, I wasn't really following everything that was happening. But
you were still in high school.
Yeah, I was late to the party, and now I'm here in 2020. I finally saw the AOC documentary, and I'm like, wait, what's up with her? Why are we talking about her? But
okay, yeah. But what do you want to talk? Well, today, this whole month we've been focusing on stereotypes and implicit bias. So let's talk about the kind of stereotypes or implicit bias that AOC, young Puerto Rican woman in her 20s, faces when trying to be taken seriously, when running for office. Like, I kind of want to, tease out, what are you supposed to look like when you are a congressperson or a senator?
I'm sure she was really torn over that too, and I'm sure she had advisors helping her out along the way with what she should be wearing, what she shouldn't. I'll be honest, I was surprised to see her in such bright red lipstick all the time, even after she had won. I got maybe running, you want to add a little spice, but even afterwards it still stuck with her. I feel like maybe this is my implicit bias.
Go ahead.
But that speaks to her Latina-ness so much. It's like she's got a little pop to her, and she's just so well-spoken. And I feel like anybody, my implicit bias, knowing that she's from the Bronx, New York, I couldn't imagine because she's not only well-spoken, but, she speaks so, vivaciously and
she's passionate, amazing. You said intelligent. Yeah. So what is the bias? I mean, I grew up in the Bronx.
I know.
So what's the bias we have against people in the Bronx?
No.
We don't think they're going to be intelligent, vivacious.
It's not.
I kind of expect people in the Bronx to be
Well, after I said vivacious, I was like, I think everyone I know from the Bronx is 100% vivacious.
I'm telling you, it's
100%.
The boogie down. Woo! But it's hard to be shy and to get by in the boogie down.
I just know me. I cannot. I have a lot of trouble, right now I'm having trouble piecing my words together in a way where I can speak effectively and where it is captivating enough that people who have bias against me still listen. And I would just expect maybe someone from the Bronx to not have as many active listeners. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. We can keep unpacking it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple things in there. So one is what do we expect people? What are we telling ourselves people will or will not listen to? And sometimes I feel like as women of color, we can be sabotaging ourselves because we have a thought inside of our head that says, oh, nobody's going to take me seriously. Nobody's going to be really listening to me. And that can get in the way of us even speaking clearly because we have that thought in our head.
It's so true. And you want to speak authentically, but you don't want to intimidate anybody. And it's a weird combination. But the minute you try to get into other people's head and try to see how are they going to see me, I think that's where you lose, honestly. Because I used to be that way a lot. Yeah. I mean, I sort of am that way still, but I was much more so that way. I controlled myself a lot more because I was so caught up in, like, people viewing me, viewing them, and things like that.
Yeah, that kind of, what do you call that?
You put two mirrors against each other.
Yeah, it's just a lot of projecting and confusion.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the ways we can get, we had a training call this morning in Racial Justice from the Heart, and one of the things that I say to people is like, what is that thought? That thought that you have, it's like a sentence, and it could be, I suck, or it could be nobody's listening to me, or I'm not really qualified, or who am I kidding? There's some, thank you, Lucy, saying it's a circle. Cool. There's some thought that we have that can really undermine us. And while we can't be in charge of what other people out there are thinking, we can notice what's happening for us and decide, okay, I'm not going to think. It's not that I'm not going to think that. It's like I'm putting my attention over here.
Okay. I got a question for you about this.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you said it. I feel like people might be thinking this too. Maybe it's just me. But when it comes down to that, saying, okay, I'm going to direct my attention away from this thing. Mm-hmm. For me, when I do that, I feel like then I start to ignore the things that are wrong with me. Mm. And I see how when other people do that, the way it bothers me. Mm. I'm like, you don't see yourself acting this way in that type of sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm scared that people will see me as sort of like not self-aware or just sort of like, I mean, not projecting, but like putting myself in their space and things like that. And I feel like I would so much rather be aware and like nitpicking at myself just so I know I can control the environment a little better. But then I'm like, who cares what people really perceive of it? But I do care.
Yeah, I mean, we live with each other, and when you're running for office, you do care. And when you're, when you go to work and you have to work with people, you care. When you go to, we care. So I guess when I'm thinking about self-awareness, it's like when you are aware that inside of you, you have a voice or a thought that sabotages you. It makes you ineffective. It makes you feel less confident. It makes you feel like you should just, go back under the bed or lie on a couch or hide in a closet. If you listen to that voice, if you start arguing with it, if you think, oh my God, maybe it's true, then you actually, you don't live into your purpose.
You know what? Imagine if AOC had listened to that voice.
Yeah.
Like, when you say something like that, it really gets me thinking, like, and maybe to some people she does come off as like, I don't even know the words they would use.
Confident.
Yeah, whatever. However it might be, oh, that little small girl who's messing up my business. Whatever it is, it's like, she's still doing her, and there's a thing I think about is like, there are people out there for everybody. When you're authentically yourself, the people come.
True. Your tribe will find you.
Exactly.
As long as you do have to ring your bell, though.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
you can't be like, I don't want to ring my bell.
Or you can't ring it and then go inside and be like, I don't know why y'all are here.
Sometimes I do that, honestly. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. But I really appreciate what you said, because what you were talking about is if you have an area of yourself, a tendency, a pattern that is destructive, you don't want to hide from it and pretend like it doesn't exist. I think that's what you're saying. You don't want to be not self-aware.
Yeah. Or people think that I don't know. Yeah.
But I think what's really important is to tune yourself. So you can tune yourself. You know how you tune an instrument? I personally only play the piano. But, okay, vocally, you can sing in tune or you can sing all over the place. Right?
Yeah.
So are you going to tune yourself to the thought, I'm not good enough? Or are you going to tune yourself to the thought that I'm here to make a difference, or I'm here to be of service, or I'm here to stand for something that's important for everybody? See what I mean? Where are you tuning yourself?
Well, I want to ask you, what's your like invasive thought?
Okay, so one of them really is I suck.
Variations what does that mean, though?
Like, what does I suck mean? It means
I'm a bad person. I'm bad at my job. Like, what does it mean?
You're bad at your job. I'm bad at my job. It means, I'm a bad person. Yeah, that's kind of what it means. It means,
it's funny because I never think
you should shut up. You should go sit in the corner. You suck. If you make a mistake, you suck. If you did it okay and people like you, still the voice was going, you really suck. But if they knew X,
my gosh.
They know you suck. I mean,
this is like so healing for me because I'm like, no, you'll see why. Because I'm like, I don't believe any of these things about my mom. Like, I don't see you that way at all. And I've never thought, wow, she really sucks.
Right. Exactly. It's untrue and you can't rely on it. That's the lesson here. I wonder what some of the poison thoughts are from the folks who are listening to us today are. Go ahead and put them out there because truthfully, my mother used to say, our secrets keep us sick. So that secret thought, just put it out there. Just
put it out there. And maybe you'll read it, type it out and be like, oh, it doesn't even feel right. Yeah.
Like, I suck. I mean, really? Is that, who is saying that?
That's what I'll be like. I'll be like, who's in my head right now? Because I thought I loved myself last week.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes Makeda says, where did my endorphins go? Is that what you say?
Oh my God, no, my dopamine.
Wait, where's my dopamine? You gotta watch what steals your joy. That is a good point. Wait, where did my dopamine go? Okay. But we were talking about AOC, so we want to. Oh, Suzanne says her phrase is I failed.
Oh no, and that's past tense too. Like it already happened.
Yeah, I failed. I mean, yeah, these things exactly. Yeah. Man. So with AOC, what was so cool was seeing a young Puerto Rican woman with her red lipstick. And her glasses and her little shoes. If you watch the documentary, you'll see, just getting up every day, having to let that voice alone and go forward with, I can represent my community. I can represent my community.
Just so crazy.
I can represent my community.
And she's in New York, too, which is just, it's like, we could wake up in Pennsylvania and say that would be a different story.
I know. But I always have a feeling like, if you ever follow New York sports teams and you listen to the fans, they can be so mean. So to me, to be out there in New York, where it's just so many millions and millions of people, there's going to be criticism, no matter what you do A, you're criticized, B, I mean, that's just the nature of it. So.
Well, my theory is like when you're doing something that other people are like shocked, maybe because how hard it is, how much it seems, but you're just, you're doing it or basically you're not intimidated by the thought of doing it. Clearly AOC wasn't that intimidated because she did it anyways. Yeah. I think when you feel that type of like motivation, that's how you know you're headed in your purposeful direction. You're working towards something that feeds you because there's just no way I could do that. The canvassing, the signature, saying hi to strangers on the street every day. And it's like that's a big part of politics actually. So it makes sense that would be more comfortable for her, and that's sort of the path she follows. It blends with her personality so well.
But she also had her family members out there.
Again,
your nieces and nephews out there with her. That takes something. That means that not only are you putting yourself out there, but you somehow managed to persuade other people in your life. Please come out with me and canvas with me today, and all that kind of stuff.
So impressive.
But let's talk about AOC because you were starting to talk about beauty.
Oh my gosh!
And you found out something about her in what magazine?
I was on YouTube, a YouTube video.
Oh.
And she was, so I think it's either Vanity Fair or Vogue. I'm pretty sure it's Vogue.
Okay.
Because only Vogue does like celebrity makeup tutorials.
Okay.
So on YouTube, Vogue has a channel and they have celebrities come on and share their makeup tutorials. Like it's a vlog, very personal, one-on-one. And they had AOC do it. Mm-hmm. And they had her do a makeup tutorial. And I kind of felt like, at first, I felt disrespected because I was just like, she's so much more to offer and they want to see how she beats her face. And that's where I was like, okay, she's so much more impressive than her makeup routine. But you guys, at the end, it's like she knew this was a sham because at the end, the video was maybe like 14 minutes long and I think it's maybe like 10 or 8 of her doing her makeup, and the rest is like her giving young women a pep talk. I love it. I love it. She's telling you, first of all, looks aren't everything, duh. Second of all, speak your truth. It's just like she goes on. I recommend watching that video too because, and I read the comments. I was going through the comments, and it's just like people just saying thank you and like love her so much. And I feel like she played that perfectly. It's and I trust her. I don't trust a lot of politicians, but I think she makes it obvious when she's doing something because she has to, and when she's doing something because like she really wants to or she's passionate about it. And that's what I felt about that makeup video. Like she had to do the makeup, but she was passionate about the talking past it.
Yeah. Well,
now I trust her.
I have a question for you because here we are today, and you look beautiful and well coiffed, and Mama's coming off of some illness, and
my mama's been working hard
and tired. I want to know, like, how important is makeup?
Actually, I just started wearing makeup this year.
Oh,
really?
You didn't makeup before?
I wore mascara and that was it. I put coconut oil on my face. That's what I did. But quarantine came and I got into a little makeup pit. My mom, she kind of watched it happen. Some nights I'll come to the table, my under eyes do not match my face. But I'm learning, and quarantine is a perfect time to learn and get like constructive criticism. So for me, once I sort of started down that path, I do realize makeup has become significantly more important to me. Now, when I'm with my family and friends, I don't feel pressure to wear makeup.
Okay.
But I like to with you guys. Now, if I'm going on a date, I will actually put on less makeup because I'm not confident in my makeup skills. So I don't want to look like, you don't want to cake your face unless it's looking good. Otherwise, what's the point? My skin is okay anyways.
So, wait, let me get this straight. You don't put on makeup on a date because you don't feel confident about your makeup skills.
I put on less makeup on a date.
Okay, great.
But, I mean, as a black girl, too, hair is almost more important than makeup. So you can't really ask a lot of black women
that. It's so much more important to you, at least. I mean, in terms of time spent, money spent.
Oh, yeah, and, I mean, it really does change the structure of my face, depending on the hairstyle, though. So,
okay, Ann Kinderwater Carroll says you are a beauty.
Thank you. It's the hair. Believe it or not.
Are you the Ann who was a kindergarten teacher? Okay. I don't know. Oh, Makeda.
I almost left the video. Sorry.
Okay.
And then I don't wear makeup anymore here in Seattle, but I appreciate the joy.
Yeah.
And I've seen
That's Suzanne speaking. Thank you, Suzanne, for sharing.
I've seen that a lot of people don't do it for anyone but themselves. And I think I'm starting to get to that point. Because I don't want to be addicted to wearing makeup. Some people I know are definitely addicted to wearing makeup.
Well, you know what? There's two things. So one is I had a white woman friend of mine. She kind of made me aware of a belief that if white women aren't wearing makeup, they're not being professional. Somehow they need to wear makeup to be professional. So if there are any white women on here, okay, and sorry, you're not the Ann that taught her kindergarten. So I just speak to that. Some people think like for me to be professional, I have to put on some makeup. Like I have nothing on right now, for example. But I also have to say, I've never felt like to be professional, I had to put on makeup.
Yeah.
So, there is some pressure that somehow you're being professional if you wear if you wear makeup. So I just love to hear what your thoughts on that. And I just want to say, I know because we keep going back to AOC because she's the theme of our show today. Yeah. When I saw her, first of all, I love the way she looks. I don't think she's trying to like play down any of her African features. Puerto Rican people are a mixture of people of European, African, and indigenous folks. So anyway, I love that about her. But I also really I feel like that red lipstick on her very full lips is almost like Ike. What you want to say about it,
Exactly, because that's what I love about it too. She's still well spoken, like,
oh yeah,
and I don't know, but something about it, it throws you off. You're like, this is a pretty girl, and then she talks,
right? And
you're like, oh no, this is actually like a real nerdy girl.
Yeah, this is a real nerdy powerhouse young woman, and And speaking of the whole red lip, so red lip things is one thing, right?
Okay.
But the other thing is like a friend of mine, a black woman, gave me some hoops. Like I don't know, a couple of years ago, and she's like, "We need our hoops," and she gave me some, and she gave somebody else some. And I noticed that you're wearing hoops today.
We do need our hoops.
So
my God!
I just want to talk about why. What do you think the hoops do? What do they symbolize to you?
As a black woman, I am so grateful that hoops exist. Me and my friend, we always say, oh, like the hoops are the makeup before we actually did makeup. If your hair is nice and you have hoops in, it's just something about having something like shiny near your face. I kind of think that's what it is. It takes up space. The gold kind of reflects off the black shininess of the hair. It's a lot of things. Hoops add a little like glitz, a little glamour, and again, not everyone can pull them off, and that's also what makes hoops good, because if you can pull them off, it's good. I can't necessarily pull off like skinny dangly earrings because my face is already kind of slanted in, but with hoops, they're big and full, and they fill the look out, if anyone was wondering.
But I wonder about like I've heard, because my friend who gave me the hoops, she wanted to make sure, because we need our hoops, meaning we as black women need hoops, which kind of implied that white women or women who aren't black wouldn't wear hoops, or maybe shouldn't wear hoops. So what do you think about that?
Well, remember, I had toured to college with my mom, and there was a big thing going on because someone had like written in graffiti like "white girl, take off your hoops," and that was me personally. I feel it made me think about Sex and the City. Carrie Bradshaw. She has a gold necklace that says Carrie written on it, like the name necklace. And she calls it her ghetto gold in the show. And that stuff, like, that's what it brings me back to. Thinking black women have been wearing these things before and before. So for it to just now get popular is interesting. But I kind of like that the cultures are merging together also. Not a big fan of the ghetto gold thing, but I don't think that is so much in use anymore that people really consider hoops ghetto or gold necklaces ghetto.
Yeah, and that whole term.
Exactly, it doesn't even
that whole term ghetto gold. That's like,
it's like you want to take the hoops and then call them ghetto.
Right.
That's really it. Actually,
right. I really feel like if you're gonna talk about a neighborhood as a ghetto, then you better be a resident.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The same way.
Don't talk about somebody else's place. Like that. If you don't live there, then you call it a neighborhood or a community.
All I gotta say is Earth is ghetto. The whole planet. Don't go singling out neighborhoods like the rich people are in ghetto too. Like, oh my gosh.
Earth is ghetto. You heard it here, ladies and
gentlemen. That's how I feel.
Earth
like
is ghetto.
When I hear
when you say Earth is ghetto, tell me, what do you mean by that?
I mean that you know how in this house we use the term ratchet to describe sort of like scrappy things?
Oh, good. I'm glad you call it scrappy. Yes.
Yes, that's how I see Earth. It's a very scrappy planet in terms of like the way humans kind of like need to get by. The way there's unnecessary violence. The way it's like the people we have in power, the majority of people aren't happy with the fact that they're in power. It's like, it's so ghetto here. That's just how I feel about it. And I read Trump comments now, and I'm like, we're in the trenches of Earth. If that makes sense. Let's see. Madeline says she doesn't feel that way about makeup, but she likes playing with makeup.
AOC is rocking politics.
We love AOC.
Yeah. So, and Lucy says she loves earrings and she thinks that jewelry speaks. I agree, Lucy. I used to wear a lot of Africa, really big earrings.
You did.
Oh my God, I was always doing that. Yeah, I think your jewelry does speak. And then maybe you get to a point in your life where, you don't need your jewelry to speak as loudly.
That's true.
There are other things. So it's all good. It's just part of where you are. And let's see, anything else? Ann is saying, I love the way the two of you are talking together. Do this again. Oh, Ann, we do it every Thursday at 3:30.
Thursday, 3:30.
So you have to come back.
We are on here.
Oh, we're running out of time, Makeda.
Oh,
so
I know.
We're in the abyss. Everyone, by this week, next Thursday, we will have voted. And I don't know if we'll know who the winner is. Oh no, Makeda's right.
Sorry,
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Guys, oh
Sorry.
my god, the way I almost threw up
I
right
know.
there.
Okay, 2 weeks. Okay, so I won't rush that one then. Anything else that we want to say about AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio.
What about her partner? Is she married yet? Did she marry him?
I don't know if they're married yet, but she's still with him.
Uh-huh.
A white guy who was like, you could tell he was totally a rock during that time, totally a supporter of her. Seemed like
Very
he was
impressive.
willing. Yeah, it seemed like he was willing to just let his career go for.
Yeah.
And we were actually saying that he was a lot like Ruth Bader Ginsburg's husband, who was willing to do the same thing. And that just goes to show, I mean, I hope AOC can go on to make as big waves as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That would be great. And I guess show the support of a partner is such a big step in that. And when males can put their egos to the side, they can be beautiful creatures.
Yes.
They can be great rocks.
They really can be. And advocates, they can be like your biggest fan. They can be out there knocking down doors so you can walk through them without you even having to
carry you over puddles.
They can carry over puddles so that you can make your speech to Congress. You know, we're gonna keep it going, ladies. We ain't gonna just only be getting carried over puddles and wearing red lipstick. We also gonna be taking care of business.
That's so beautiful about it. And again, just throwing back one more time, that's what I like so much about the makeup tutorial. She's like, I can be beautiful, I can put all this on, but like the stuff that comes out of my mouth is gonna be 10 times more beautiful. So the makeup is just for her at that point. Like, yeah. So I guess we want to end this episode by saying, what do we want to end with? Well, AOC, if you're watching this, email her.
No, email her. She's on Instagram. I'm not. I have no idea what Instagram is.
No. Definitely email her. Let her know you want to do a collaboration.
No, let us know what your that negative thought is that you have to constantly just turn your attention away from and not let it drive you.
We'll pin ours down in the chat. I think that'll be good. I think if everybody reads everybody's, it'll just help everybody feel better.
Yeah, because we'll know you're not the only one thinking that crazy ass thought.
Exactly.
I said that word. But do you know what we're doing next week?
No, this was the end of our implicit bias month. We had a month theme for implicit bias.
Next week, is it Halloween? It is Halloween. Oh, one more show. We're gonna be talking about costumes and cultural appropriation.
Yeah. We might get a little spooky.
But we're gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you about why you shouldn't be wearing that Pocahontas costume.
Cleopatra is not cool either anymore. No one talks about it. Just throwing that out there. Is a Donald Trump costume acceptable?
For whom? I'm just saying I don't want to see it.
Well,
I really.
All right. Well, we'll get into it next week because I kind of think it is orange face. But
orange face. Oh, interesting.
But it's tan, and everyone gets orange face. Technically,
I don't get orange face at all.
White people do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So next week we'll be talking about Halloween, and thank you for joining us this week. And just remember, every day, every week, remember to get some chocolate on. In this case, black licorice, but
she did this last week too, guys.
Just keep something beautiful and dark brown in your field of vision.
Get me out of this house. All we eat is black licorice.
She's lying. We eat sweet potatoes. So, all right, y'all. Love you.
Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you for participating.